Hello again and welcome. If you remember from the previous videos, I talked about the definition of a derivative being the slope of the tangent line on a graph, where you are usually given one point on the graph and be asked to evaluate the slope of the slope of that tangent line, right? So let's say where we're given y equals to x squared, and we're asked to evaluate what will be the slope of the tangent line at x equals to 1, right? So what we did was we evaluated, so this will be the slope, and what we did was we evaluated the derivative of this function and found the slope of that tangent line, right? Now what happened in the reverse, where you are given the slope and you're asked to find x, right? So in this is exactly what we'll be doing in this particular problem. We are given a function and we're asked at what point on this graph is the tangent line has a slope 9. So we said that the slope, the derivative equals to the slope of the tangent line. So this means that f prime of x equals to 9, because that's the slope, right? Now f of x equals to that equals to, you say f of x equals to minus x cubed plus 6x squared. Now, so f prime of x equals to negative 3x squared plus 12x, right? We just use our power rule here, and also the addition by taking the derivative of each separate function. So we said that f prime of x equals to 9, so this means minus 3x squared plus 12x equals to 9. So let's evaluate. So minus 3x squared plus 12x minus 9 equals to 0. I see that they're all multiples of 3, so I can divide everything by 3. So minus x squared plus 4x minus 3 equals to 0. Okay. What else can I do? Since I have a negative here, I can multiply everything by minus 1. That way, if the x squared would be a positive number. So x squared, or a positive term rather, minus 4x plus 3 equal to 0. Now this, if you remember from your algebra or pre-algebra, in order to evaluate this, you need to factor out, right? So we have x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0. Again, remember, we're trying to evaluate what is the value of x at where the slope is 9. So what we can do, so x minus equals 0. So what I'm trying to do here is, what are two values? When I multiply them together, I will get positive 3. When I add them together, I will get minus 4. So that would be minus 1 and minus 3. Minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4. Minus 1 times minus 3 is positive 3. So this means x minus 1 times x minus 3 equals to 0. Therefore, x minus 1 equals to 0, or x minus 3 equals to 0. So x equals to 1 or x equals to 3. What does this result mean? So this means at x equals to 1 and at x equals to 3, the slope would be equals to 9 for this particular function. I really hope this makes sense, and I'll be posting on also more examples in the coming videos. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome again. In the last video, we did one example of a function where we're asked to evaluate at what point on the graph the slope is 9. In this particular problem, we're asked to find what point on the graph where the tangent line is horizontal. These are very common problems that you will encounter in your calculus class. when doing derivatives. So it's very important that you understand this concept. And believe me, the more you do these things, the easier you will get. Now, what does it mean for the tangent line to be horizontal, right? So these will be the two particular points where the tangent line will be horizontal. If the tangent line is horizontal, what can you say about the slope? The slope is 0. There is no slope. So what that tells you, so if the slope is 0, and we know that the slope of the tangent line is the derivative of the function, that means f prime of x equals to 0. So you can just take the derivative of this function and set it to 0. And that way you will find your 2 points at which the tangent line will be 0. So let's go ahead and evaluate the derivative of this. So f prime of x equals to negative 3x squared plus 6 times 2x, right? Just use the power rule here. Now f prime of x equals to 0, we said. So that means we have to set this entire thing equal to 0. So minus 3x squared plus 12x equals to 0. I can factor out minus 3x. I'm left with what? X plus, well, x minus 4, right? Because if I multiply this minus 3 and minus 4, I'll get positive 12. So this is equal to 0. Now, there are only two solutions here. Minus 3x equals to 0 or x minus 4 equals to 0, right? And we know that minus 3 cannot be 0, so that x must be 0. So x equals to 0 or x minus 4, the second term, equals to 0. This means x equals to 4. This will give us 2 points on the graph where the tangent line is 0. So this particular point, x equals to 0, and x equals to 4. Now you can find the corresponding y value, right? So when x equals to 4, what will be the corresponding y value here? Here is, just 0, 0. That will be the point. This particular point will be x equals to 4, and then just substitute. So that will be minus 4 cubed plus 6 4 squared. So minus 4 cubed is what? So that will be 16, and then you got 64. All right. So I got 16 times 4. Yeah, so 64 plus 6 times 4 squared is 16. So we have minus 64 plus so 96. And that will give us 32. Yeah. So therefore, the second point will be 432. So those will be the 2 points where the tangent line is 0. I hope that calculation is correct. But yes, so this will be the 2 points. And just remember, you'll be seeing a lot of these problems in your calculus class. So it's good that you do more practice of these. Thank you for watching.